Today's big questions are: how do you use PENFED personal loan and personal lines of credit to boost credit and to live a financially responsible life? Don't go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Story Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous. If you were to ask me, if you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to do a comparative analysis of PENFED personal loan and PENFED personal lines of credit. And the good thing is we just want to know whether or not you can boost credit, which one you can use to boost credit, which one can help you actually live a more responsible life, financially speaking. So let's first talk about the personal loan. So when you think about personal loans from PENFED, you have a constellation of loans, okay? You have APR as low as 4.99%, terms up to 60 months, and loans up to $50,000. This is really, really generous. Money, money, money. We love that. We love that PENFED is giving you up to $50,000, okay? They're lending you, not giving you, lending you up to $50,000. There's no early payoff penalty, no origination fee, and no hidden fees, okay? So what's the process really? So you can check your rate without affecting your credit score. We love that because you have a pre-qualification, a soft pull process. You can select from multiple pre-approved offers, and you can receive your money in 1 to 2 business days after verification. And you can use a PENFED personal loan for a plethora of reasons. First, you can use it for debt consolidation. You can consolidate, refinance, and restructure, okay? And here we are talking about credit cards, very important. Credit cards. Let's say you have $20,000 in credit card debt. You can use a PENFED loan to consolidate, especially given that the APR is so low. The minimum APR is 4.99%. This is really good. You can use a PENFED personal loan to simplify your debt. You have lower monthly payments. You can reduce your interest rates, or you can simply pay less total interest on an existing loan or credit line. So this is really good. And you can also use the money for home improvement, okay? You can improve, upgrade, or repair things in your house. You can use it also for transportation. We love that. You can use a personal loan up to $50,000 from PENFED to repair, to buy accessories, to even engage in power sports. If you are like me, you are in that kind of stuff. This is important. And you can turn vehicle repair expenses into comfortable monthly payments with a PENFED transportation loan, okay? And you can do so by you can enjoy the ride with convenient motorcycle, power sports, and accessories financing at low interest rates. So this is just fantastic. So when you think about a PENFED personal loan, this is not just a loan for a big purchase. You can use the loan for home improvements, to consolidate debt, and also for transportation. You can also use the loan for medical and dental activities. In other words, if you want to take care of vision and dental services, vision and dental expenses, this is great. You can also use it for emergency and elective surgery, and you can take care of mobility and medical devices. And we really understand that sometimes health insurance is not enough, okay? And PENFED is always there for its members, and they will help you take care of unexpected expenses and long-term healthcare costs with a personal loan. Remember, the APR is fixed. It's a low fixed APR. Again, it depends on your creditworthiness, but it's generally very low. You can also take a loan from PENFED to take care of business events, take care of personal events, okay? Not business events, but life and events. But this can be vacations, this can be major purchases, they could be celebrations. When I spoke about business events, it's because if you are a sole proprietorship, you can take a loan from PENFED to take care of stuff at the business level, but not at a LLC level or LP or S Corp or C Corp. If you are a sole proprietorship, you can do that. And we're speaking about life and events, things like vacations, major purchases, celebrations, okay? So this is really, really good. You get the money from PENFED. You're able to take care of family, vacations, hobbies, and sports, and also K-12 education. Yeah, Yeah, you can take care of a tax payments. If you owe the IRS or state tax authorities some money, you can get a loan from PenFed to take care of that. You can take care of weddings. So this loan is really great because you're able to have access to to money at a very low rate, and you can use the cash for a constellation of things. What we love, in our view, what we really love with PenFed, when it comes to PenFed personal loans, you have two things, and I want you to think about those two things. Very important. Number one, you have a low APR, very, very low. This can go all the way to 4.99%. This is really, really good. And the second thing is that they give you access to money, and you can use the money for many, many, many things. All right. So they're not really restricting you as to how you can use the cash. No, they have different programs, and chances are, as long as you meet all other criteria, you can get the loan that you need for your particular need. Okay, for your particular activity, rather. You can get the loan that you need for your particular activity. This is important, and the maximum loan amount $50,000. Let me give you some general information about PenFed loans. So obviously, you know the loan can have an APR as low as 4.99%, $50,000. But you need to understand that there is a pre-qualification process. In other words, they're not doing a hard pull the first time around. No, you don't have to apply. What you need to do is you need to go through a soft pull first, okay, with no impact whatsoever on your credit history, on your credit score. And your actual APR will be determined at the time of disbursement and will be based on your credit worthiness, which includes an evaluation of your credit history and the length of your PenFed membership. It's important to have a longer, the longer your PenFed membership, the better APR you might get. Okay, and not all applicants will qualify for the lowest rates, so you need to understand that the 4.99% that I just told you about, this basically assumes that you have excellent credit history. Okay, you can pay your loan early, so there are no penalties for paying off your loan early. This is really great, and you don't need to submit collateral for a personal loan. Those personal loans I've told you about, they are unsecured, okay? Not a problem. In other words, you don't need to put up collateral like a house or a car to secure your loan. And once you are approved, funds are available as early as next day, depending on the method selected. So you can choose to get your cash through direct deposit, through ACH, okay? So if you choose that option, you get the money within 1 to 2 business days. If you choose a check, you want to expect 5 to 7 business days. Okay, actual timing may be longer or shorter depending on the time of the day that your loan is processed and depending on your financial institution. This is why it's just a lot better to have the loans deposited into your PenFed account. That way you get the money instantaneously. Okay, and PenFed does not charge an application fee. So no origination fee, no application fee, and you can apply with a co-borrower if you want to. If this may help you, if this can help you qualify for a lower interest rate, that is totally possible. Okay. And one thing I want to say here is that you don't need to become a member to apply. However, you should choose, if you choose to move forward and fund your loan, you will need to become a member. So it's an easy process, no military affiliation required. Okay. So in order to get a loan with PenFed, let me just repeat that. You will need to become a PenFed member, but to apply, you don't have to. So this kind of makes sense, okay? Let us talk about the line of credit. So folks, I've just given you everything you need to know about the personal loan at PenFed. Now let's have a quick discussion about the personal line of credit at PenFed. The good thing with the line of credit is that you are able to access cash when you need it most. So let's say when life throws an unexpected expense your way, you can tap into your personal line of credit. Okay, and the cool thing is that with PenFed, you have available funds when you need them, anytime, for anything you want. And the payments are based on the amount you actually use, not on the amount of your line of credit. So when we think about money, in this case, you don't have access, you're not paying any interest on the money that is unused. This is kind of similar to a credit card. The only thing is that with the line of credit, you have access to actual cash, and there are no penalties for withdrawing cash from your line of credit. Okay, you can use your line anywhere you would use a check. This is money. Okay, you only need to keep in mind though that after you open an account, you need to wait for 3 to 5 business days to get to get your money, and you might have to apply at a branch or over the phone, depending on your credit score. Okay, and when we talk about personal line of credit, you have fixed rates that are as low as 5.99%. You have credit lines up to $25,000. That's the limit here. And you have free checks to access your line. So PenFed will allow you to draw from your line of credit through a personal check. It could also be through an ACH debit, a withdrawal, a wire transfer. Okay. And the thing is that PenFed does have a very fast review process. We love that. Like, they're not taking days and days and days to answer you. They have a fast review process. If you apply today, by tomorrow you'll get a decision about whether or not you qualify for a personal loan or personal line of credit. And the good thing is, this is why I was just telling you earlier to apply at a branch, because if you apply at a branch, you can tell the loan officer that you want to actually be considered for both options, both the personal loan and also the personal line of credit. That way you can actually you don't put all your eggs in the same basket. You're putting your eggs in 2 baskets, and if both works, that's fine. If one works, that's fine also. Okay. And don't forget to always bring your financial paperwork, to bring your tax returns, to bring your pay stubs, to bring your W-2s, your 1099s to the branch, or when having a conversation with the loan rep over the phone. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sorty Kiwi Show. Let's talk about the application process. So the thing here is that if you check your rates, if you want to see the options that you have, your credit score will not be affected. Okay, if you decide to move forward with your loan after checking your rates, then PenFed will require a full credit report inquiry, a hard pull. Okay, and this could affect your credit. It's important. And they will verify your income. So they will request recent pay stubs, retirement statements, bank statements, or tax returns, depending on your income situation. So make sure you have your 1040s or your 1065, 1120S, 1120C if you have a business and you want PenFed to consider actually business income as part of their underwriting process. They will want to verify your identity also. So they may request a copy of your government issued photo ID rather. This could be an unexpired passport or driver's license, a copy of your latest utility bill, and or a copy of your social security card. Okay. And you will have a link once they send you a pre-approval offer. You will have a link that will allow you to upload your supporting documentation. This is very easy. Okay, and you can apply with a co-borrower. I said this before, and you may use this especially if you have let's say you have a lower credit score. Applying with a co-borrower can help you get a lower interest rate. Okay, and once everything is fine, you can get your money within 1 to 2 business days, either through checks or through ACH transfer. Okay, and it's important to understand that at the end of the day, you are responsible for following up with PenFed. What about repayments? So once your loan is approved, you can send your payments through checks, or you can, if you have an account with PenFed, they can do the auto debit. And this is what we actually suggest you do. You want to set up everything so that the money comes out every month from your account, from your PenFed account, and you just pay the loan right away. But if you're interested in just paying through checks, you can actually send your checks through, there's an address that's the PO Box 1445. This is in Alexandria, Virginia, 22313-1445. So that's the address where you can send your checks, and this should be okay. One thing I want to say here is please double check with your loan officer before. And there is a penalty for paying late. So if your payment is more than 5 days late, you will be charged a late fee of $29. let me talk to you about success hacks. So whether you want to apply for a PenFed personal loan or a PenFed personal line of credit, there are some success hacks that you need to be aware of. Okay, first you want to maintain it at all times a DTI of 35% or less. It's important. We are speaking here about a debt to income ratio of 35% or less. DTI is basically the amount of money you allocate to servicing your debts, the amount of money you take every month from your gross income and you allocate that percentage to your debts. So for example, if you make $10,000 a month and you're taking $4,000 out of that $10,000 to service your debts, you have a DTI of 40%. 4,000 divided by 10,000. Okay, and for DTIs you want to be as low as possible, and PenFed loves it when you have a DTI of 35% or less. It shows, among other things, financial responsibility. You also want to maintain a CUR of 38% for this PenFed personal loan or personal line of credit. We are speaking about CUR, meaning your credit utilization ratio. It must be the lower this ratio, the better. Okay, and remember that to apply for this loan successfully or this line of credit, you should not have any pending bankruptcy. So this is important. Let me ask you a question. Big decision time. Are you currently grappling with a pending bankruptcy? Have you had charge-offs in the last 24 months? Then you may not qualify for this loan at this moment, because you should not have any charges or collections in the last 24 months. And PenFed is really adamant at making sure that you comply with that. Now, they might approve you, but you will have a higher APR and a lower loan amount, maybe a lower loan term as well. You also want to have verifiable employment. If you really want to successfully apply for a PenFed personal loan or personal line of credit, you want to have verifiable employment. I'm talking about being able to provide evidence in terms of your W-2s, your pay stubs, your 1099s. Okay, you can have also employer verification letter that shows that you indeed work at the company you say you are working at. Okay, and in terms of your pay, the minimum amount is $18,000 per year. $18,000. That's gross income. That's $1,500 gross income. Gross pay per year. Let me give you a few pro tips, folks, that you need to think about if you want to successfully apply for this loan and or this line of credit and show that you are a good applicant. Make sure that you keep your documents in order. We have spoken about this on this and other shows. It's important that PenFed sees in your application some kind of organization that you are really interested in getting this loan or line of credit. And this will show. You need to keep your documents in order. You need to maintain good credit if you are able to do so. It's really important. And by doing this, you can actually check your credit often to make sure you have the proper information, that there's no derogatory item on your credit report, that everything is legit there, okay? And you can also try to show sufficient cash flow. This is important. PenFed pays attention to your liquidity inflows and outflows, okay? Money. If you're trying to get more money from PenFed in terms of loans or lines of credit, you better have a history of demonstrating sufficient cash flows. So for instance, if you have a full-time job and you're making good cash, this is good. Or you can add a side gig. You can basically get a second job, a part-time job. The goal is to increase your cash inflows. And remember that lenders are different. If you don't get this loan or line of credit with PenFed, you can apply with another credit union. You can go to Navy Fed, for example. We have covered this on other shows. You can go to PECU, for example. Okay, so this is important also. And you also need to decide what type of loan you need. I've given you the different types of loans that you have with PenFed, whether it is debt consolidation loan I've given you a variety of reasons you can get a personal loan, right? If you have, let's say you have medical expenses that you need to take care of, you want to buy a vehicle, a motorsports vehicle, for example, okay? And remember that you need to gather your documents. When we talk about PenFed, you need to gather your documents. You need to have your personal tax returns, your bank statements, your financial statements, everything that can help you get the loan. You need to Think about that, okay? And also remember that the more organized you are, the quicker you can get a loan, your loan or line of credit approved through PENFED. Okay, decisions, folks. So, PenFed loans versus line of credit. Which one to choose if your goal is to live a financially responsible life? If your goal is to boost your credit in the process? My answer to you is it really depends. Let's talk about this. Big decision time. Big decision time. Let's say you are thinking about getting a PenFed personal loan or a PenFed line of credit. What is your liquidity situation? How urgently do you need the cash? Okay, what is your family situation? Are you in a household? Are you married? Are you single? Those things are important because a loan and line of credit are two different ways that individuals and businesses, for that matter, can borrow from lenders, okay? From lenders including PenFed. So if you have a loan through PenFed, you have what's called a non-revolving credit limit, which means that you, the borrower, only has access to the amount loaned once, and you subsequently make a principal payment as well as interest payments until the debt is paid off. You make a series of interest payments and principal payments unless you pay the debt off, okay? That's for a loan through PenFed or another financial institution. When we talk about a line of credit, the borrower, you'll receive a set credit limit just like a credit card, and you make regular payments composed of both a principal and interest portion to pay it off. But unlike a loan, you, the borrower, have continuous and repeated access to the line of credit while it is active. Okay, so applying for both loans and lines of credit depends on your credit rating and financial history, as I said before, along with your relationship with PenFed. Do you have accounts with them? What is the strength of your MPR with PenFed? Multi-product relationship. This is important, okay? Also think about secure loans, for example. PenFed in some states offers secure loans. So if you don't qualify for an unsecured loan at a good rate, ask them if they serve borrowers in your state, if they serve secure loans to your borrowers in your state. Because you can always start with the secure loan and actually walk your way up the ladder in terms of FICO score. Okay, so this is something you need to think about. So the difference between loans and lines of credit is really subtle. For a loan, you want to, this is great if you want to buy if you want to have a large purchase and you want to repay the loan amount over several installments. A line of credit is a preset borrowing limit that can be used at any time, paid back, and borrowed again. So, what is our pick between a personal loan and a line of credit from a PenFed? We really have no pick because your choice will depend on your situation, and this is really your call. All right, folks. Thank you so much for your attention. In today's conversation, I was talking to you about PenFed loans versus lines of credit, and I basically talked to you about the personal loan. Then I spoke about the line of credit. I spoke about the application process, the success hacks that you need to be aware of, the pro tips, how to decide, and last but not the least, our pick. I'll talk to you another time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.